Hello everyone, it's Mitch from SHOCKMOUTHS News with a new video. Days ago, iilluminaughtii uploaded a response about her drama involving accusations of plagiarism, and also responded to the Twitter threads by her former YouTube collaborators on Sad Milk. In it, she talks about how things that were not mentioned in those Twitter threads, including how she helped Wonder get approved for finance on a car, which she later repossessed and claimed that the car was in poor condition. Before we get into Wonder's response, here's what iilluminaughtii had to say about Wonder getting a car and having it repossessed.
I decided to try and help my friend in a way that I now realize was pretty idiotic. I made the decision to purchase a vehicle that he had already agreed to enter into a rent-to-own contract with said vehicle. On June 12, 2021, Oz Media and I collectively decided to take out a loan together in the amount of $42,359.69. Unless Oz was charging rent without my knowledge, Wonder was living rent-free while earning $1,923.08 every other week, and would have to pay only $588.34 once a month. There were two outstanding instances that voided our agreement and constituted the repossession of my vehicle. The first was the proof of insurance that Wonder never provided. Insurance that is something federally required of any vehicle on the road in the United States. The second infraction on our agreement occurred when Wonderstruck left the state of Colorado to go back to Austin, Texas. You can clearly see these stipulations in the document on the screen right now. Due to multiple defaults by Wonder in our contract, I felt that I had no choice but to repossess the vehicle, which was my property because I am the one who owned it. So on July 29th, 2021, I was able to get a hold of my vehicle and I took back my property.
So Wonder entered the agreement for the car around the 15th of June 2021, and iilluminaughtii repossessed the vehicle on July 29, 2021. I want you to keep these dates in mind later on when we get to Wonder's response, because he does show receipts.
I would like to take a moment to bring up the condition of the vehicle upon its repossession. Within 1 month of using the vehicle, the car was visibly soiled, trash was littered in the car, it contained dirty clothing which consisted of I think 2 pairs of dirty boxers and maybe 3 mismatched socks. There was also a huge crack that went across most of the windshield. The state of the vehicle was shocking, to be honest, but at this point, I was just happy to have my car back and know that it couldn't be damaged any further.
As you can see, iilluminaughtii brings up the state of the vehicle's condition with a couple of bottles in the back as being very untidy and not up to her standard, despite her house looking like this. Allegedly looking by this, according to Oz Media, as shared by Akieri, in which he says, "They have never been vacuumed. She's a fucking slob. I cannot fucking wait for all of her shit to be gone." And as you can see in the pictures, there is just shit everywhere. Now, after iilluminaughtii released that video, Wonder hit back on Twitter with this. "My brief response to BLAIR," and then he includes a Twitlonger. This is a very long Twitlonger, so I'm going to link to it in the description down below if you want to see the whole thing for yourself, but I'm just going to be concentrating on the car at this point. He says, "BLAIR has come forward with information I did not initially come forward with. This was an active decision on my part. A lot of this information is part of a pending small claims lawsuit. My county is entirely backed up, and in the state of Texas, I have 2 years to file, which has given BLAIR ample time to do the right thing. I never once asked for BLAIR's help in terms of cars or living situations. In fact, I declined offers due to not wanting to be a freeloader of any kind. BLAIR says I did not pay rent, yet she leaves out the fact I was only supposed to stay until August when I took the job in February. This was because BLAIR was building a home to get into real estate. I was supposed to move into this home and pay her every month. She was going to be my landlord. When I had ended my lease, I was notified last second that December would be the new date. I stated I was uneasy here. As for the car, the contract was not legally binding. I had an ex-police officer, a former contract maker, and a lawyer look over it. It is a fluff contract. I did have insurance." Now, remember those dates before that I was telling you to remember? They entered the agreement approximately the 15th of June and the car was repossessed on the July 29. Well, here's a screenshot of what looks like the insurance from Progressive, dated the 23rd of June 2021, and here is a screenshot from August 22nd, 2021 of the insurance ending. Almost a month since iilluminaughtii got the car back.
"Was the proof of insurance that Wonder never provided.
The car never resided in Austin, Texas. I was not living there. My address had been changed to Colorado. I had discussed with Oz, due to BLAIR and I not being on speaking terms, about returning the car. BLAIR asked that I pay the depreciation value and I agreed, meaning I would pay even without having the car. When I asked to see what I was legally bound to, I never received an answer. Blair then, in the dead of night, came to my father's home and revoked the car along with all of my possessions inside of it. The car was a mess due to me living in it. The windshield was cracked when a semi-truck kicked up a rock onto it. I went by the dealership and they said I could bring it back later that week and they could fix it no problem. I was there due to blowing a flat. Blair has this record. I would not have returned the car in that state, and I never intended to. Blair revoked the car because she knew I was not legally bound to it. I had no way to retrieve my belongings that were taken in the car and in Colorado. I had no money to my name due to moving, insurance, and monthly car payments. Followed by deposits and application fees for apartments. I sent multiple legal demands for my belongings after Blair said she would make arrangements to return them, which she never followed through on. My father contacted on my behalf for months. Her lawyer said he would go after my dad and I for harassment. Legalities are not threats. I was, and continue to be, within my rights. Then at the end of the document, he has links to screenshots of Discord conversations between him and Oz Media about the car. Oz Media says, 1. Continuing to keep the car, but with an additional amount per month with full payoff in a few years. 2. Drop it off when you come to Colorado. We'll need to update lease and sign depreciation contract. 3. Sign depreciation contract now, and Blair will come down soon and take it off your hands. I can get you the total payoff price for option 1, and the depreciation will be determined by and we can provide the full itemized rundown when they give it. Wonder then says, I will not be keeping the car. I will do option 2. I also need to see all of the paperwork related to the car itself and a copy of its paperwork, what I signed, etc. I personally do not want anything related to that car with me at this point in time. Oz then says, alright, I'll get you a copy of what you signed. Wonder says, I need not just the copy of what I signed, but that paperwork involving the car itself. No rush on that. And Oz says, you mean this, right? And sends a picture of what looks like a contract with some information blurred out. Wonder says yes, but also the car information saying the total price, etc, etc. So I fully have everything my name is tied to, and so I know its value, etc, etc. I need it so I can spitball depreciation values, and because depreciation is not the price of the car including the tax and the other various things, it's the value of the actual car itself minus the miles usage, etc. Oz says 61k with protection packages. Would need to find the documents for all that. Wonder says, okay, sounds good. Also, do you have the tracking number for that package that was sent, because it still hasn't arrived yet, and I have about 4 days left on that. Oz says, they never even sent me a tracking number, and I've been keeping an eye out my mailbox just in case I ever got it returned to sender. On April 21st of this year, Wonder says, it shouldn't come as a surprise given A, she thinks I would swat her instead, and B, she ignored 3 legal demand letters and never clarified how I broke contract and had 2 years to make that right. No one has ever thought of swatting. Jesus, that's insane. Oz responds, I still have the demand letter lying around. I will, if it comes down to it, happily testify as to the extent and hoops Blair went through to justify the repossession. Also in the Google document is this screenshot of an apology from Oz to Wonder. Oz, who has been featured in this document, also tweeted today, there is something truly special about having your inactive dog's account unfollow me first, then blocking me days later, especially after coming to me in messages, yelling at me, but not denying anything, then demanding we talk, but passive-aggressively threaten me when I ask for space and time. Also, hi Blair, having fun monotonously scanning through replies of people you blocked for subtweets? It was a really fun pastime of ours, wasn't it? Stalking the accounts of everyone we pissed off, and you blocked, or they blocked us. Oh, good times, don't miss them. Skylin chimes in and says, this shit is getting out of control. Oz Media says, I'm sorry, I try not to touch drama. I promise this won't be a habit. And Skylin responds, do what you have to do, Oz. I hope you're trying to take things easy, and I hope you and the other guys are doing okay. My mum's a host says, the way she cried at the end of the video when speaking about you struck me as manipulative. Not trying to minimize emotions here, just struck me as odd. Oz responds, honestly, I would love to keep things to just sad milk. But those tears, man, I've literally watched her build up those exact tears up when we lived together. My mum's a host says, I'm so sorry you're going through this, man. You are handling it so well though, and setting a great example. Big hugs to you. That's all for this video. There is so much more in this document that I try to keep this as condensed as possible so it's easier to follow along. There's other things in there about a dog and rent and stuff like that, but I was just focusing on the car in this video. If you have any suggestions for news videos, send them to twitter.com/shockmouths, and if you like what you're seeing, click the like and subscribe button, and I hope you have a good day, and I'll see you in the next video.